Right now, it seems like all the momentum is on the inside lane of the racetrack. If you're just joining us, 14 laps in, we have 6 laps before the end of stage 1 here at Daytona. It's Riley Herbst, Christian Eckes, Johnny Sauter, Tyler Ankrum, and Grant Enfinger. The field's in 2.
Austin Wayne Self is the first man in that outside line. He is well outside the top 10 as they try and get a little rubber down and get that high groove working.
Unfortunately for Austin Wayne Self, there's only 4 other trucks on the outside with him. Everybody else to the bottom of the racetrack in 3.
Those guys that have tried it in the top lane are beginning to think that maybe their luck would be better on the bottom, except for Moffitt, Chastain, Zane Smith, and Tanner Gray. They join Austin Wayne Self up top.
They do indeed. They'll come to the line. There will be 5 laps to go in stage number 1 this time by Steve Post. The team's had an opportunity to examine the left side tires of Derek Kraus. What's the latest?
Well, we talked about how they
coming off of the tri-oval, crashing down into turns 1 and 2. One truck gets upside down, slides across the top on his lid. That's Ty Majeski. A hard crash. Still upside down, sparks billowing in front of Dave Moody.
He slides down onto the apron of the racetrack on his roof. Some flames erupting out of the engine compartment of that machine. He slides down low enough on the banking that he's out of my field of view right now, but a very hard crash and a long upside down slide for life for young Ty Majeski.
The caution is out, sponsored by MoneyLion, the world's most powerful financial membership. MoneyLion, here we roar. Caution flag number 1 on the racetrack. Alex, it began coming out of the tri-oval when Austin Wayne Self and Majeski got crossed up, hooked Majeski the wrong way, and immediately that truck went over. He slid about 3/4 of the way through the tri-oval, all the way through turn number 1 and almost to the midpoint between turns 1 and 2. Dave, what's the status of the safety crews over there tending to Ty?
They were there almost immediately, Mike. Multiple ambulances, fire equipment on the scene, wreckers on the scene as well as they attend to Ty Majeski. Again, he is so far down on the apron, actually might even be in the grass right now where that truck finally came to rest. Low enough that I can't get a good view of the scene, but there are a lot of people on hand to assist Ty Majeski out of that overturned truck.
The field has come into the tri-oval. We are about to go under the red flag after Ty Majeski gets turned on his roof and slides all the way out of the tri-oval into turn 1 here at Daytona at lap 15. We are under the red flag here at Daytona International Speedway. A multi-truck crash has just happened leaving the tri-oval at lap 15. Ty Majeski is the worst for wear. He is upside down. He's still on his roof right now. The safety crews have arrived on the scene and are attending to him, and we expect him to be extracted from that truck in a moment. And then, of course, the task at hand is to turn that truck upside down and then bring that back to the Truck Series garage area. We'll recap those involved in a moment. First, from Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. We are back at Daytona International Speedway under the red flag. It's the first MoneyLion caution leading to the red flag. Ty Majeski's truck has just been righted. They have turned the truck back on all 4 wheels, Alex, and now, under his own power, Ty Majeski has climbed from that Nice Motorsports truck, much to the delight and the applause of the crowd here in the tri-oval grandstand.
A spectacular visual crash as he got turned upside down, went barrel rolling a couple of times, ended up upside down, slid on the roof of that truck, down into turns 1 and 2 and all the way down to the bottom of the apron where he came to a rest. They were 3 wide coming past the start-finish line. Ty Majeski was the driver that got turned, went up, clipped the left rear of Austin Wayne Self. Majeski, I take that back, was one of them that got caught. He was an innocent bystander, got clipped in the right rear quarter panel of his truck, and that sent him upside down once it got out of control.
So the list of drivers that we have that are involved in this crash include Austin Wayne Self, Ty Majeski, Tate Fogelman, Tanner Gray, Todd Gilliland, Ross Chastain, Brett Moffitt, and Zane Smith. Now, obviously, the Majeski truck has the worst damage of all when he got hooked and turned on his lid, leaving the tri-oval, heading into turn number 1. The truck coasted off the banking and onto the apron in a shower of sparks. Everybody did a good job of checking up, but there were several trucks that were involved. Now, under the red flag, you cannot work on your trucks. Matter of fact, those damaged trucks, Alex, have not even made it back to the pit lane. They are stopped exiting turn 4 and just about to the entrance of pit lane.
Which can be a problem because they're heavily damaged, especially Austin Wayne Self's truck, who was wedged on the flat apron of the track in turn 1. The nose was up on the 31 degrees of banking. It was important for Austin Wayne Self to try to go forward and backward, and almost like you're stuck in the mud, to try to rock the truck to get it off the banking and get it unstuck without the assistance of the tow truck, because if they hook the truck up to the wrecker, he is officially out of the race, whether he could continue or not. So he needed to get down off the banking by himself. He was able to do so, but with a heavily damaged truck having to stop now over there on the apron of turn number 4, let's hope he can get his truck refired so they can at least take a peek at it on pit road to try to get it put back together.
We have seen the replay several times here on the boards that we're watching along with the race fans, and watch this replay several times. It happened in the middle of a 3-wide battle, just crossing the start-finish line. You had Todd Gilliland give Tate Fogelman a shove just past the start-finish line. That got Fogelman crossed up. He hung a right, clipped Austin Wayne Self, who then rocketed off to the left, and when he did that, he hooked Ty Majeski and turned Majeski back to the right. As that truck went back to the right, that's when it rolled over and began that long, as Dave called it, slide for life all the way in the middle of turns 1 and 2.
Under the lights here at Daytona, that shower of sparks was just something, a sight to behold. Fortunately, again, Ty Majeski did get out of the truck and walk away under his own power, but so many times you see these types of things happen with a lot of drivers with that yellow rookie tape on the back bumper. You run a few laps, you feel like, okay, I got a pretty good feel for my truck in the draft. You try to give somebody a little bump draft once you get to the straightaway there, the short straightaway before turn number 1. But if you don't hit those bumpers just right, you can turn somebody sideways, especially a driver with little experience.
A few years ago, they paved what's called the skid pad here at Daytona. And if you're at the World Center of Racing and either you look to your left in the tri-oval or look to your right, you'll see a lot of asphalt where grass had been before. Well, what we saw, Alex, is about a dozen trucks take evasive maneuvers to dive off in that skid pad, and that's exactly what it's there to do. It provides an area for drivers to evacuate in case somebody gets crossed up and the track was blocked. We saw Rafael Lassard dive down there. We saw Stuart Friesen dive down there, avoided contact. And it's a good thing that that is there, or else if they'd hooked the grass, we would have had a larger mess than what we have right now.
Absolutely. And again, this is just a case of bump drafting going just a little bit wrong. You know, there's an option right now for these teams whether they want to run side skirts on the left side of the truck or the right side. That's between the wheels. It's a skirting, a piece of material that goes down, try to prevent air from getting up underneath the race truck. Well, after some wind tunnel testing in the offseason, some of these teams figured out if we didn't go without a side skirt, or if we went without a side skirt on the left side, the truck was a lot faster. The give and take part of that is the truck would be a little more unstable, especially going in a straight line without the left side skirt. Bump draft off the tri-oval, well, that went wrong. The red flag has been lifted. We're back under the caution flag. The pit lane is closed as the field refires their trucks and begin to follow along behind the pace truck.